presentation of the National Football League.
And welcome back to Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. So Carolina in front at 6-2, Tampa Bay having their bye week, and the Falcons are leading the Saints 34-13 in the waning moments of that game, and could go to 6-3. So a very tough NFC South, and right now New Orleans could fall a couple of games behind in last. So the Raiders winning the toss, and Reese Lloyd will kick off for the Panthers, and Johnny Lee Higgins will return for the Raiders. Raiders are 2-6 and come into this game themselves only 2.5 games behind Denver with all their problems in the AFC West. And the kick into the end zone and run out by Higgins. And Higgins carries it past the 15-yard line, but not by much. And a scramble and a loose ball and a fumble on the play. Carolina pointing one way. And we'll wait for Mike Carey to sort through it all. And a fumble on the opening kickoff by Higgins. And John Fox and the Panthers will get the ball first in great field position. So the beat goes on for the Raiders apparently.
Well, Johnny Lee Higgins trying to get out at least to the 20-yard line. That ball he just got smacked. And the ball came out, no Raider around the ball, and you can see the Panthers diving for it, coming up with the ball.
Adam Seward recovered Higgins' fumble. So here come the Carolina Panthers, first down on the 16-yard line, and Jake Delhomme, the quarterback, has had great success lately against the AFC. Two wide receivers out left, and Muhsin Muhammad goes in motion close to the line. Handoff to D'Angelo Williams. And Williams, not much there, thanks to Kirk Morrison, the middle linebacker. The Panthers offense, and for the third time all year, the offensive line is intact, which means Ryan Khalil and Jeff Otah back in the lineup.
Well, John Fox is thrilled to get these two guys back. They've actually played very well in their absence, so they've developed some depth. But as John told us the other day, these guys are the starters, so it's great to get them back.
Starters for a reason. I mean, Jeff Otah was the guy they traded for to get him up in the first round, and he was a monster the first 4 games of the season.
Dante Rosario, the backup tight end, split to the bottom of your picture on 2nd down and 10. And 4 wide receivers for Delhomme, who gets time and overthrows Steve Smith, bringing up 3rd down and 10.
So far, Carolina is moving its people around. You know coming in, Baldy, that Carolina wants to run the ball here today. And the Oakland Raiders have given up close to 200 yards rushing each of the last 3 weeks. And John Fox knows if they're going to get where they want to go, they've got to run the ball well.
And they want to run it better. I mean, that's what they want to do the second half of the season. They want to become a better running football team because that's what fuels this entire team.
Tight lineup. At the line of scrimmage, DJ Hackett, who is active for this game, number 18, one of the wide receivers. And good blocking for Jake Delhomme, and the pass is caught inside the 5 by Hackett, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
You know, this is something you don't see a lot out of the 3rd down package in Carolina. Jake Delhomme, great quarterback, is not particularly the most accurate of quarterbacks, and it's shown up on 3rd down. They're in the middle of the league. This is a very hard, accurate throw. That's as tight as you can get. That's a big 3rd down conversion on a team that hasn't been great so far in 3rd down conversion.
Well, the Stanley route was right there on the coverage, but the throw beat the coverage.
Well, the Panthers have not been effective on goal-to-goal situations, and the Raiders will call timeout. Oakland with 3 new starters, Kalimba Edwards, Sam Williams, and Chris Johnson at cornerback. We'll be right back. Raiders calling the timeout after the 13-yard pass to DJ Hackett. What do you think here, Coach?
Boy, don't if you're John Fox, don't you want to just run this thing right into the end zone? 3 straight runs, pound it in there, show that that's the way you can score.
And they spread the offense, so not a bad running formation. But Delhomme is going to throw it, and the pass is caught, and in for the touchdown is Muhsin Muhammad. Well, you get that close, and you got all those receivers, and the 3-yard touchdown pass to Muhammad, and the Panthers take a 6-0 lead.
Like I said, come out throwing, right, Baldy?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you get that kind of leverage right here, Brian, where the defender's inside Musa Muhammad. He's 2 steps behind him the whole time. He doesn't have much of a chance there.
And Musa Muhammad's so big, you got a big sweep spot. You can throw that ball about anywhere on that kind of pass.
So for Musa Muhammad, who's really come back big to Carolina, the extra point by John Casey is good, 7-0. So the Panthers take advantage of the fumble by Higgins on the opening kickoff. Muhammad with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. Muhammad with the touchdown catch, but Baldy, what does this do for the Raiders?
Well, I mean, you go, here we go again. I mean, you start off, fumble the opening kickoff, and before you look up, it's 7-0. You want to play with effort. You want to compete. And you go, boy, we're just snake bitten. We can't even start the game right.
But now as a coach, you've got to look at that as okay, we got an opportunity to show that we can answer here.
Right.
This offense has got to come out. We've got to establish whatever it is our game plan is. We're now going to have a chance to show it, and we've got to show that we can respond to that type of challenge.
They only had to go 16 yards in 4 plays, and there is Johnny Lee Higgins, who coughed it up, and we'll get another chance as Reese Lloyd kicks off, and this one in the field of play, and Higgins at the 9 on the return for the Raiders runs into his own man and is downed at the 21-yard line. And let's check down with the 4th member of our team, Laura Oakman.
Thank you, Dick. Nnamdi Asomugha told me this week that being a Raider means you expect drama, you expect changes, but he said this week was exceptionally tough. I had another player tell me it was so bad he expected a player revolt, but what happened, the one reason they didn't, was Tom Cable. He said Cable gave a speech this week where he quoted players and coaches from Super Bowl teams saying, this is how you pull together as a team, not as a bunch of individuals. They said it set the right tone, but it needed to translate today.
And it needs to translate right now. 1st down, and on the draw play, Justin Fargas with a good gain on 1st down and close to it as he gets to the 31-yard lines.
Well, when it's been this kind of a season for the Raiders, this is how the game started. His own man basically knocked Johnny Lee Higgins down on the last play. So you fumble the opening kickoff, and the 2nd kickoff return, your own man knocks you down.
And that's what you alluded to earlier. It's focus and effort. You've got to have focus and effort if you're going to fight your way out of your current circumstances.
Hey, words are easy, Coach Baldy. You've got to do it on the field, and so far the Raiders are behind the 8 ball. 9-yard gain on 1st down, and Justin Fargas on his 2nd carry gets a 1st down to the 35 and a pickup of 5. So there is Tom Cable, the interim head coach, was the offensive line coach, and we're taking a look now at Andrew Walter in his 9th career start. Started 8 games 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and that was with Art Shell was the head coach then, and they didn't protect him very well, but he got a lot of valuable experience. Watched all year last year, said he has learned a great deal from the bench, hopes to take it to the field today.
I got him.
1st down on the 35, play action, and the pass is caught by Tony Stewart, tight end. And Thomas Davis is there to make the tackle at the 39-yard line, a pickup of about 5. There you see the Panthers and Raiders, and of course coming into this game, the Raiders last in scoring offense at only 13+ points a game.
Well, they hope that the second half of the season they're going to turn this thing around. The one thing that we've seen already is a 1st down from the Raiders. Last week it took to the 3rd quarter to get their first down. So Andrew Walter has him moving just a little bit.
2nd down and 5, and here's Fargas again. And one of the Panthers trying to get Damian Lewis missed the initial tackle, and Chris Gamble made the play. And a gain of 2.
Many coaches on the Raiders said that in all their years of pro football, player coach, that this was the worst game that they were ever a part of. And they thought that they just didn't compete. There wasn't the effort that you needed, and certainly the results show that.
And when you're a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 3, when you get yourself in that situation, this is where they've got to convert to avoid that kind of start.
3rd and 3, and the pitch going to Fargas. He has some blocking. He's got the 1st down, and ridden out of bounds by Charles Godfrey, the free safety. So the Raiders are running effectively. A 10-yard pickup by Fargas.
Got a little toss crack action here. You're going to get the left tackle coming out. Quaim Harris is coming out. You're going to get a crackback block here on Julius Peppers, and you're going to get a nice little move by Justin Fargas right off the fullback. Lawton's block. You can see a nice alleyway for Justin Fargas.
And you knew, talking to Tom Cable the other day, this is the way they want to start, wasn't it, Baldy? Run the ball.
That's what they want to get back to. They felt like they got away from that the last couple of weeks, certainly against your old team. The Ravens took it from them. They couldn't do it against the Falcons last week.
Did not get out of bounds. And on first down, Walter slings it to his fullback, Luke Lawton. And Lawton will pick up nearly 5 yards on that play with Tyler Brayton, the former Raider, making the play there. There are some of the early game leaders. Drew Brees, 2 touchdown passes. He would like to have more, and a victory for the Saints. They did not get it. Thomas Jones with a big day for the Jets with 3 scores, and Dustin Keller, the tight end for the Jets, as they romped over the Rams. He also scored a touchdown.
Drew Brees struggling as a team. New Orleans now 4-5 and in last place in the NFC South.
Second down and 6 as the Raiders march into Panther territory, and now a timeout is called. That'll be the second timeout here in the first half by Oakland, with still 19-9-13 remaining in the first quarter. In Oakland, the Panthers taking advantage of a turnover, leading the Raiders 7-0 during the timeout. The sideline for Oakland, Baldy.
Well, here's Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, and he's helping Andrew Walter out by bootlegging him, moving away from Julius Peppers, and making sure that he's got a nice safety valve to dump it off to if nothing's deep.
Second down and 6, pressure coming in from the linebacking position, and this pass off the hands of Javon Walker. I don't know if he would have stayed in bounds had he caught the ball, but going deep, taking a shot, brings up 3rd and 6.
I like the play against Chris Gamble. It's a good shot. One-on-one here against Gamble, and Walter throws this ball perfectly. In bounds, right where you want to throw it, away from the defender, right into the breadbasket of Walker. He's got to make that catch.
Perfectly thrown ball. You always wanted, the receiver had a great position, had the DB pinned to the inside, and give him enough room to fade to the sideline on a perfectly thrown ball. Still an incompletion.
So here's Andrew Walter facing a 3rd down and 6, his last start, Christmas Day 2006 against Kansas City. Looking left, and then as he turns around, he goes down. Julius Peppers coming in leading the Panthers with 4 sacks, picks up another one way out of field goal range.
Well, they put Peppers inside this time. Normally he's outside, but they probably like this matchup inside, away from the center, one-on-one, and went right through the right guard, Cooper Carlisle.
So it is 4th down, a loss of 6 on the play, and Peppers night and day compared to last year in his play.
Well, I mean, he's playing with maximum effort, and now they're moving him around, isolating him on special matchups.
Jane Leckler will punt for the Raiders, and Mark Jones done a pretty good job back deep, with Ryan Robinson unable to get back, and the fair catch called for just inside the 10. Jake Delhomme goes back to work, and Carolina has the 7-0 lead. Some of the fans, colorful many of them here in Oakland, cheering on the Raiders, and the Panthers will be starting from their own 10-yard line. D'Angelo Williams having a big year at running back. And Williams getting the call on first down and nothing doing. Now let's take a look at some of the early results in the NFL. And the Packers miss a 52-yard field goal at the end, and Adrian Peterson's 29-yard touchdown. Minnesota wins that game. Jets romp over St. Louis. We told you about Atlanta over New Orleans. Miami goes over 500 at 5-4 with their win. Tennessee still undefeated. New England over Buffalo. Baltimore wins big, and Jacksonville, well, they do it to Detroit, as everyone else has. Second down and 10 with under 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Delhomme will throw from inside his 5, and going for Steve Smith, and it is picked off by Nnamdi Asomugha, and Asomugha, who was geared for this game, and a tough coverage with Steve Smith, picks it off for a Raider interception.
Now, Jake Delhomme and Stephen Smith said they were going to probe early to see. They had not played Asomugha before. They have a great deal of respect for him, but they wanted to size up how he's going to play Stephen Smith. Excellent job of Asomugha transitioning from his back pedal, turning those hips. That's a big league play there.
And it's his first interception of the year, and it came against the best receiver that he's faced all year. One of the matchups that the Raiders were looking forward to today was putting their star cornerback on the Panther star receiver.
So Andrew Walter out again. First down on the Panthers 39-yard line, and here is Fargas. And Fargas with a head of steam and a good run, picking up 8 yards on first down before Brayton tackles him.
Coach, this is kind of an amazing coverage by Asamoah here, because he never looks at the ball the whole time until the very end. When Smith looked, he looked. That's textbook right there. And I was watching Steve Smith before the game, and all he did in pregame warm-up was watch Nnamdi Asamoah warm up and how he got his hands on receivers in pregame.
Second down and 2. And again, they go to Fargas, and Fargas close to first down yardage. And we'll see where they spot the ball. John Beeson.
If the Raiders can score here, we talked earlier about after the turnover, giving Carolina the short field, how were they going to respond emotionally? Well, so far, their offense has taken the ball down the field. They had to punt. Now they've got a turnover. So far, Tom Cable is getting the emotional response.
And a first down now, Baldy.
Another first down, and so they're holding on to the ball. It looks different than it has the last 2 weeks. They're competing right now. Certainly, that's all Tom Cable wanted to see early in this game. Stay in the game and then start pulling for each other as the game went on.
So the ball on the 28, and that will be a timeout. The third. Well, the Raiders don't care about saving timeouts for this first half. They used them all. We'll be back. Out of timeouts. Coach, I know you never really had any teams that struggled badly, but do you feel that the Raiders have to get something out of this?
Well, you don't want to take your timeouts into the locker room with you, but you would like to take them into the second quarter, I think.
And by the way, Oakland has lost its first half challenge possibilities. First down, and the swing pass to Michael Bush. And Michael Bush carries a defender into first down yardage to the 16-yard line, and it was Chris Gamble making the play. 13 yards, and it'll be another first down for the Raiders.
Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator there, with a real smart play. Just getting the ball out of Andrew Walter's hands now into a playmaker's hands like Michael Bush with a nice touch. And so far, early in his game, you got to admire the way Andrew Walter is just handling the situation. First start of the season, certainly not too big for anything that's going on.
And a first down at the 16, 7-0, and here is Walter, and his pass is intercepted in the end zone by Richard Marshall, the nickelback for the Panthers, and he is put down by Cooper Carlisle. So the opportunity goes by the boards on Walter's interception to Marshall.
Well, Chaz Shylins falls down here. I mean, he's going to run a post against Richard Marshall, and you're going to see him fall to the ground. I mean, Andrew Walter is, he got grabbed, pulled down, and they missed that pull.
Sure did.
And Walter is throwing that ball on timing there. He's getting the ball out of his hands, not expecting his receiver to be on the ground.
And in the red zone, it is all about anticipation. You don't have the time in the red zone to wait to see the receiver open. You've got to throw on anticipation. And there it came back and got you.
Sixth interception of the year by Carolina, the first by Marshall. So here's Delhomme now working again from the 9-yard line. Jake with the short drop and the pass off the hands of Rosario. And it'll be second down and 10.
When you throw the ball down the seam like that, Coach, I mean, there's going to be traffic there. It's got to be a tight throw. And if that guy isn't in that particular spot, that's what can happen on that last play.
Well, Chaz Shylins is 6'4".
Yeah.
So he's a perfect receiver down in the red zone. He had the matchup he wanted. Give the ball some loft. And like I said, you've got to throw on anticipation. And that time it didn't work.
Second down and 10. Pressure on Delhomme, and the pass out to D'Angelo Williams. And a good tackle made out at the 11-yard line by Jabril Wilson. So third down coming up for Jake Delhomme. Jabril Wilson, who last year played on the Super Bowl champion New York Giants, and now has to play with a team that has had all kinds of problems.
And Carolina, they've not been good. They're in the bottom half of the league in third down conversion. This could be an Achilles heel for this team if they don't get better on third downs.
Here's this matchup, Nnamdi against Steve Smith.
And the pass and the extra effort to Muhsin Muhammad may be enough for the first down. And it was Chris Johnson who is making his second career start. He is starting after D'Angelo Hall was released this week, signed by Washington, and it is a first down for Carolina.
Yeah, they're picking up the pace here. They're trying to throw a curve at Oakland with a no huddle now after a quick first down.
And Delhomme got hit, and if a flag goes down, got hit in the face. Tommy Kelly made the play, but it looked like a slap in the face. And here's Mike Carey with the call.
Personal foul, major face mask, defense number 93. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Well, Tom Kelly is in the middle here. He's having a disappointing season, but he beats Kedrick Vincent clean. And any shot to the head, to the face, and then you turn the helmet like that. There's Tommy Kelly at the left defensive tackle position. Actually has a good move against Vincent. One of his better one-on-one rushes this season. And just a little too aggressive going to the head.
So the defensive penalty, and the Panthers will have a first down out to the 28-yard line. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton along with the coach Brian Billick, Brian Baldinger, Laura Oakman on the field. 7-0 Panthers lead, first down. D'Angelo Williams trying to run, and so far has not been able to do much. And that time it was Tommy Kelly stopping Williams for no gain.
Coach, nobody wants to see personal fouls on third down when you have a chance to get off the field, but judging by this team's effort right now, just seeing the aggressive play, the way they're tackling right now, that's got to be encouraging, you know, for any coach on the sideline.
They're responding. You talked about it in the open. Are they going to play hard? Are they going to play passionate? And clearly they are.
Turdell Sands, number 90, has gone in for Tommy Kelly on 2nd and 10. And the pitch going to Williams. Good blocking on the right side. That's where they set their receivers and tight ends. And Williams is stopped at the 33 by Jabril Wilson after getting 5.
You want to see some effort. The biggest man on the field is Turdell Sands. At 6'7", 370 pounds. Watch him get off this block here. Stays on his feet. Now that's what you want to see. You want to see the biggest man on the field tackle one of the smallest people on the field for a 4-yard gain.
And Dante Rosario with a good block as well on the right side. So here's 3rd down and 5. Raider fans, the vocal looking for the stop here. And there's the quick pass. It's tipped, and unable to hold on is Steve Smith. Had he made the catch, who knows what would have happened. But the pass is incomplete and a punting situation.
Well, in Oakland, we talked about Carolina having to be better on third down. Jake Delhomme knowing exactly where he wanted to go with the ball. Really kind of a catchable ball. I think we got it just barely tipped there. You typically see Stephen Smith coming up with that catch. Oakland so far responding in third down situations.
So John Baker will kick it away, and Johnny Lee Higgins doing both return duties today, kickoffs and punts. And a good high kick. And Higgins makes the catch and is hit immediately at the 19 by Richard Marshall. Well, the Raiders, obviously, guys, playing a lot more aggressive so far.
Well, I mean, last week they only had 15 minutes of time of possession the entire game. And so just the fact that the offense has been out there kind of giving the defense a little bit of a rest is a big change.
And that's the lineup next week, guys. Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And the Bears and the Packers, Lions and Panthers, Cardinals and Seahawks will play late. Cardinals leading that division. And here are the Raiders again with the ball. First down on the 19. And the pass is caught by Javon Walker. Gets away from the initial play and gets a first down out to the 32. Chris Gamble, the cornerback, missed Walker initially.
Yeah, if you're going to throw the ball with any success today for the Raiders, you've got to be able to handle Julius Peppers. And you're going to see right now. I mean, you got a couple guys. You got Fargas cutting them on this play, which you hope that the quarterback gets the ball out of his hands as quickly as Andrew Walter did that time, because Peppers doesn't stay down the ground long.
Fargas on Peppers, I'd limit those numbers of protection.
Not many.
That's just me, but
yeah.
That's if you want Fargas to carry the ball some.
If you want your quarterback to stay alive.
First down at the 33. Todd Watkins, number 19, in the game at wide receiver, and the ball is knocked away. And let's see if the Raiders held on to it as Quaim Harris right behind. And it was Julius Peppers who knocked the ball out of the hands of Andrew Walter.
Well, Peppers is on a short corner, meaning there's only a left tackle there. Quaim Harris has been struggling. He beats him quick around the corner, and Peppers told us he wanted to throw speed at Quaim Harris to start this game. Speed, speed. See if he could turn the corner like he did, and then he wants to convert speed into power.
And those long arms don't hurt either. You get a lot faster when you can reach that arm out and have that kind of wingspan.
Loss of 5. Mario Henderson is going to share that position with Harris. And here's Fargas as a runner. And he is put down immediately by Thomas Davis. And for a game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Steelers and Colts, and with Willie Parker out, Mewaldy Moore has taken advantage, diving in for the score to put Pittsburgh on top. But back comes Indy. Peyton goes up top. Ike Taylor thinks he's got it right through his hands and into the waiting arms of Reggie Wayne. 65 yards later, the game's all tied at 7 apiece. Back to Dick and the Killer Bees.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. And Laura, we have Killer Bees and an O. 3rd down and 14 in the final seconds of this first quarter. Here's Fargas on the delay, and nothing there. And it's 4th down, and the Raiders still about 12 yards shy of the first down, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Taking advantage of the turnover on the kickoff fumble. Start the game. The Carolina Panthers lead the Oakland Raiders 7-0. Panthers, who have won 2 in a row, leading the Raiders, who have lost 3 of their last 4 games by a total of 74 points. On 4th down, Shane Leckler will be kicking, and Mark Jones deep for the Panthers. Another beauty. Jones inside the 15, has some open field. Closes in a hurry, and he's down at the 22-yard line. Well, 7-0, and it was the defense that got the ball away, and Jake Delhomme has a touchdown and an interception early. Not much from the running game, and Muhsin Muhammad with the touchdown catch.
Pretty easy touchdown catch for Muhsin Muhammad, finishing off that very short drive off the opening kick fumble by the Raiders.
Raiders got after the fumble by the Raiders, the Panthers had the ball on the 16. Since then, twice starting from their own 9. They begin from the 23 here. D'Angelo Williams trying to cut outside, but coming in and forcing the play and making a fine play is Kalimba Edwards, a loss of 2.
Now, Baldy, Oakland runs a defense. You can't see it out here, but you've got 2 corners. I call it a cat. You got that cat?
Yep.
Okay, Chris Johnson, you got the other cat. That gives you a lot of latitude then with the remaining 9 guys, doesn't it?
Well, you're talking about the 2 corners just locked up with the wide receivers, and then the safeties really can be involved in the run game. Right now, that's what's taking place. They're really shutting things down between the tackles.
Raiders doing a great job against Carolina's run. 2nd down and 12. And there is the pass quickly out to the tight end, Jeff King. And King is tackled at the 30-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down by Kirk Morrison.
Good crisp tackling by the Raiders out here today. I think maybe the wake-up call that Tom Cable sent to the team this year, including, unloading D'Angelo Hall. It looks like it's got their attention, and they're playing with a purpose out here.
And when you see these guys on the practice field, these are impressive-looking athletes.
Yes, they are.
They've got athletes.
One of them is right here, Chris Johnson. He has what the Raiders call Raider speed, 4.4 and less. He can flat out run.
And he is on Muhsin Muhammad, 3rd down and 3. And there is Delhomme with several pump fakes and not even close. King was downfield. 4th down coming up as we check down with Laura Oakman.
I've been watching Javon Walker on the sideline. They actually just took him to the locker room. He's having some issues with his left. It looks like his left ankle. He's been trying to put pressure on it, trying to kind of cut on the sideline. He's having a lot of pain. They didn't tape it up. They pretty much mummified that left foot, and he's in the locker room right now getting treatment. All
right, thank you, Laura. With Denver and Green Bay, Javon Walker. So right now, going to the locker room, and Jason Baker punting on 4th down. And here is Johnny Lee Higgins, the kick a bit short. And he makes the catch at the 32, trying to find running room, and slides down at the 42. And it was Dante Rosario who put the seal on it. We'll be back.
Got to give your left tackle help. I mean, here he is They've just changed their left tackle. Mario Henderson, the rookie, is in there now. You got to change up, you got to chip them, you got to put a tight end over there, and you got to run away from them.
Here is Justin Fargas, and he picks up a couple of yards, and he's already been a very active defensive lineman for the Panthers.
He had 2 sacks in the first quarter. He beat Cooper Carlisle, the right guard, lining up inside. They put a running back, Justin Fargas, on him to chip him, which isn't a bad changeup. But this right here, Quayne Harris never really had a chance on a short corner with no help on a deep set by the quarterback.
And if I'm the head coach and I see one time Julius Peppers one-on-one with Quayne Harris or Mario Henderson, you and I are going to have a talk.
Yes.
Because the one time you do it, you're going to get beat.
2nd down and 7 at the 44. And Walter going deep. And overthrowing his intended receiver, Ashley Lilly, and covered by Chris Gamble downfield. It was closer to Gamble than it was to Lilly.
Now here's a good example of what you have to do to Julius Peppers. Here's the left tackle, and here's a couple of tight ends. Now, you discourage them right away. You get the tight end over there, Zach Miller, you get Mario Henderson over there. That's how you handle a monster. Pretty good job right there by Ashley Lilly right there to become a defender and not allow the corner to come up with that interception.
3rd down and 7. Hailey Taylor, the rookie defensive end, is checked in along with Richard Marshall, the nickel back, who already has an interception. And this pass is caught near midfield by Tony Stewart and tackled shy of the 1st down. They get 5 yards, and Walter echoes his frustration as he comes off the field. And once again, the Raiders have to kick.
Son, just run. Tony Stewart, you're 6'5", you're 260 pounds, going against a DB.
Run him over.
Just run him over.
You need the first down.
We need the 1st down.
So Shane Leckler will come in to kick, and there's Mark Jones, who is in the lineup opening day against San Diego and has been an effective return man. Jones will let it bounce, and the Raiders are going to down it inside the 5. Hiram Eugene. Big play by the Raiders special teams.
Coach, Coors Light is the world's most refreshing beer. Am I right?
Any doubters there?
No.
Okay, we're on the same page at least on one thing.
Coach, Coors Light in bottles, cans, or kegs, do they all deliver tremendous refreshment?
They all do.
Coach, I like Coors Light poured from a tap. What's that called again?
Who knows what that's called? That's the draft, okay?
Frost Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, a beer that tastes as cold as the Rockies. Your thoughts?
There's a mountain that can be climbed.
See you at the top, buddy.
So my husband and I don't usually buy the latest electronics.
Honey, the movie's starting.
Popcorn! But thanks to Walmart and their low prices.
Terry Bradshaw with an opinion.
Yeah.
An editorial somewhere by Strahan.
Well, you did that Giants-Steeler game a couple weeks ago in Pittsburgh. Thought that might be the prelude to a Super Bowl.
They played it like a Super Bowl as the handoff to D'Angelo Williams on 1st down, and not much there. The Panthers' first possession were at the 16 of the Raiders. Since then, they've started on an average of their own 11, Coach.
Now, this is always an interesting part of the field for play calling. I love Bobby Bowden's theory. Bobby Bowden's theory was, don't get nervous, one of us is about to score. Because this is a great place to take a shot to change the field position back.
Meanwhile, Jeff Handgardner, who had played well off the bench, has replaced Ryan Khalil at center for Carolina on 2nd down and 9. They hand it off to Williams, breaks a tackle, he'll get the 1st down, and several more as Asamoah knocks him out of bounds. So the initial tackle missed by the Raiders, and a gain of 20.
Actually, a pretty good call, because this is just a flat-out draw play. Jordan Gross could have set wide, invite these rushers up the field, and no safety comes in here. They're so deep. No safety comes in, little draw trap inside, breaks the tackle. Now, where's the safety help? That's Hiram Eugene, who's late getting the ball, and Steve Smith coming out, getting a chip on that safety, getting Williams just a few more yards after the contact.
Longest play from scrimmage by the Panthers. The pass nearly intercepted. Smith was the intended receiver, and Chris Johnson, who was out of football 2 years ago, was in good position to pick another one off.
They're doing a great job today against Steve Smith. Still without a catch here today. Both Chris Johnson, Nnamdi Asomugha, really good coverage.
But you know Carolina would like to be running the ball more consistently. You just saw it. Steve Smith is buying in. I'm going to block for you, but you better get the ball to me a couple times too.
24 yards rushing, coach, is all they've got, averaging a little more than 3 yards a carry. 2nd down and 10. They want to run it. Here's D'Angelo Williams, and he is knocked back. And a loss on the play. And this is an aroused Oakland Raider defense. That was Sam Williams, who started today's game, a loss of 2 yards.
Baldy, I'm impressed with your energy here, with what your defense is doing. The energy with the way they're coming at it, and even after the play, they're feeling it right now.
Well, watch them change the line of scrimmage. They're playing on the other side of the ball here. Watch the penetration they get in the middle. Look what Tom Kelly does. Thomas Kelly just backed up the right guard 4 yards into the backfield.
It's Baldy's defense all of a sudden?
Only when it does well. When it doesn't do well, it's my defense.
Oh, okay, all right. 3rd down and 12. Baldy doing a good job that way. And let's see whether we have a movement in the Carolina offensive line or Trevor Scott just came
offside.
Yep.
Defense unabated to the quarterback, number 91. 5-yard penalty. It's still.
So it'll still be 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Well, Trevor Scott, this is one of those things that the discipline you always hear about with a team that's struggling. You've got a team in 3rd and 12. The down and distance is going your way, and you jump off sides. That's kind of the next step, even in today's game plan, as to can the Raiders step up and show that kind of discipline on a tough year.
A bad rookie mistake on Trevor Scott. He's got to try to make up for it on this pass run.
3rd down and 7, and this pass incomplete, intended for DJ Hackett. So 4th down. Tell you, Coach, you got to give kudos to this Raider defense, really in a big way in this first half.
They are responding to the emotional ebbs and flow of this game. If the Raider offense can mount a drive here and get a score, it would only make it 7-7, but I think you'll see the crowd and these players get energized.
And there's Orion.
Yeah, when I said and listened to Rob the other day, I can't. Was this Rex? You know, I have Rex for 9 years in Baltimore. They're
twin brothers.
Both excellent coaches.
Johnny Lee Higgins sees the ball roll behind and out of bounds. So the Raiders trying to mount something offensively, 7-0. We'll be back. And a flag is down. So a penalty marker down, and Mike Carey.
Holding. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty. Still first.
That's Zach Miller, the tight end, holding on the play. Well, the thing about this game, and you said at the outside, Coach, that you know the Panthers want to run the ball. They come in 6-2, and Williams has 8 carries, 6 of them for a yard or even less.
Yeah,
not doing it.
I don't think it's what the Carolina Panthers aren't doing. I think it's what the Oakland Raiders defense is doing, Baldy.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing with the energy that Rob Ryan wanted them to. Tom Cable wanted them to. They shook things up this week. You know, Laura Oakman said something about maybe a player revolt, but the revolt right now is they're taking it out on the Carolina Panthers. It's what a coach's dream is.
1st down and 20 after the holding penalty. Ball back on the 14-yard line, and they'll run it on 1st and long, and Vargas maybe a yard. That's all.
A special player for the Carolina Panthers is Julius Peppers. On the play before, watch this trail here. Watch this athlete just trail this play. I mean, he's outrunning Justin Vargas from behind. He runs into Zach Miller, who got called for the holding call, but he's trying to make every play on the field here today.
Panther wide receivers are rookie Chaz Schillens making his 4th start, and the veteran Ashley Lally, number 87. 2nd down and long, and the pass overthrown. The fullback Luke Lawton.
Coach, we've talked a lot today about protecting Peppers, what you have to do. I mean, in Baltimore, you had one of the great left tackles in the history of the game in Jonathan Ogden. What comfort did it give you as you set your game plan up every week?
Well, not just a comfort, but you know we're okay on the left side.
Yeah.
All we got to do is worry about the right side. That is a huge advantage in your preparation during the week. The challenge for Oakland is you've got to protect that left side every single snap, and your right side could be vulnerable as well.
And then what Carolina's doing is they know that, so they're moving Peppers around today. Now they're putting him on the other side.
So it's 3rd and 19, and the quick handoff to Justin Vargas in a big run. Won't get the 1st down as he's tackled about 2 yards shy by Ken Lucas, the cornerback. And you could see that great push by the Panthers defense, Baldy, on the snap.
Well, I mean, it's all the Raiders wanted to do was get out of there without turning the ball over, getting as much yardage as they can, so that maybe their best player, Shane Leckler, can get out there and put another cannon shot down the field.
Fargas with 42 yards on 9 carries, averaging nearly 5 yards a clip. So it's 4th down, and Leckler will punt to Mark Jones. Another big kick. Leckler, big weapon on this team, and it's fielded by Jones at the 10. And Mark Jones is hit and knocked down from behind by Hiram Eugene.
There are many things to consider when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. Though lately, finding the right financing has become extremely important. And with 0.9% APR financing and great lease offers still readily available for qualified buyers, it's easy to put together the perfect deal on the Lexus RX you've been wanting. Learn more at your Lexus dealer. Special lease offers now available on the 2009 RX 350.
Unstoppable. Paula Creamer is. So is her Citizen Echo Drive watch. Fueled by light, it never needs a battery. It's unstoppable, just like the people who wear it.
Ditch the bag. Get the box. The KFC Guitar Hero Fully Loaded box. Packed with 2 new original recipe strips, a new original recipe snacker, drumstick or thigh, 2 sides, biscuit, large drink. That's a lot of food.
Here's a tip. Order a Budweiser on draft. It's kept cold from the brewery to the distributor to the tap. Can't get a more refreshing Budweiser than that.
I thought I was supposed to tip you.
You still can.
Fox Tuesday is back and all new. First, the team brings the hospital to a dying shut-in.
We can only test him with whatever we can take to him.
Somebody get in here!
Hey, wait! What did you do? All new house. Then, the only way to save one of their own is to talk to the dead.
This is not like removing tonsils. I've never had a conversation with a dead guy before. 3, 2, 1, go.
All new Fringe. After House, it all starts Tuesday at 8/7 Central. So new, so Fox.
Carolina in front of Oakland 7-0, and Ryan Khalil went out earlier in this quarter with a left ankle injury. His return is questionable, and that's the same ankle that he had problems with, Baldy.
That stinks, because he thought that, you know, with the bye week, he could really get that rested, ready for the second half of the season, and this is a huge setback for him today.
Jeff Handgardner had gone in to replace him. Jonathan Stewart making his first appearance of the game at tailback, 1st down on the 29. Play action, and going deep for Smith, and the pass is intercepted. Rashad Baker with the pick. And Steve Smith, who has yet to catch a pass today, was the target that time, but Delhomme came up short.
Well, they thought they had one-on-one against Chris Johnson, but watch the coverage here by Rashad Baker. This is what they call Raider speed, a safety that can flat out run. And Brian, you mentioned this looks like a team of great athletes, and that was an athletic move that Jake Delhomme really underestimated.
And that's a perfect example of the speed that the Raiders, I mean, everybody covets it, but obviously the Raiders are at the forefront of always going for a speedy secondary. That's a perfect example of why you covet speed the way you do.
Now, Coach, how do the Raiders mount an offense? I mean, this is a good defensive team they're facing, but what might they be thinking of?
Well, Greg Knapp's doing a nice job of changing it up. I think you keep your balance, obviously. You've run the ball fairly well. I think a few more play-action passes to take advantage of the fact that you are running the ball well.
Now, there's the challenge
the ruling
flag.
on the field is an interception. It's being challenged by Carolina.
So the challenge flag thrown by John Fox on this play. So did Baker maintain possession of the ball? Carolina Panthers challenging the ruling on the field that Rashad Baker made an interception on this pass.
Well, Steve Smith knows he's not going to get it, so he's going to be the defender. But right there, left knee is down, left elbow is down on the ground, and then the ball comes out late. He should be down.
It is.
On that play.
In fact, he's got a knee, a left elbow. That right elbow doesn't have, I don't know if one elbow equals 2 knees and all that stuff they tell us, but he had 2 knees and an elbow. That's 3 out of the 4. That's good for me.
Well, have you ever lost any of these challenges before, Coach?
Have I lost? The league's got more of my money based on my reacting to losing those challenges.
We ought to make a graphic of all of the money that they have. It would be a crawl instead of just taking one shot, right? Am I close?
Exactly. And I appreciate you reminding my wife now publicly how much money I've given to the league. Yeah, and he's looking at a number of different views. I think there, left
knee is
leg,
down.
left elbow,
Elbow's down.
other knee. He's in control there.
He should be down there.
Yeah, he's got complete control. Even I think looks like even in that right hand, the ball kind of dribbles out after he starts to get up. I think that's an interception.
Rashad Baker getting a real chance to play after they benched Michael Huff, former high draft pick of the Raiders. With the release of D'Angelo Hall, we're seeing more of Rashad Baker, Chris Johnson on the field here today.
And here is Mike Carey on the field to give us his verdict.
After review, the receiver had control and went to the ground. And when he hit the ground, he immediately had control. And then as he went up to get up, the ball came loose. The ruling on the field is correct. It is an interception. Carolina starts with their first team timeout.
So the crowd cheering as Tom Cable's Raiders, John Fox, who was a coach here, defensive coordinator for the Raiders in '94 and '95.
Now you got to love Mike Carey. Before the game, I told him, now, Mike, I'm your worst nightmare because I can rip you now. No one can find me. And he turned right around and said, yeah, but Coach, now I know you're much more objective. So,
How true.
I love it.
First down on the 31-yard line. And on the flip, the end around to Chaz Schillens. And Schillens is upended by number 20, Chris Gamble, and a flag is down. Penalty marker down at the 38-yard line.
Good discipline by the Panthers. Not biting on the fake reverse and then on the second reverse staying home and making that hit.
Did they telegraph that too much, the end around?
I mean, it was a little change of, I mean, you're trying to get the Panthers flowing. I thought it was an interesting play call, one you don't see much.
But I tell you what, you don't run a reverse ending up to Julius Pepper's side.
After the ball was dead, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 64 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal, the down counts. Second down.
That's Jake Grove, the center, so that'll bring the ball back, affecting Oakland.
Now, what I mean by that, Baldy, is that Julius Peppers is such a unique athlete that you're counting on him coming flat. Julius Peppers is a good enough athlete. He can start out wrong and has enough athleticism, come back and still make the play.
And that's what he did.
Very hard to keep this guy out, Julius Peppers, and a dramatic reversal of what his season was a year ago. One of the big reasons why the Panthers are 6-2 at the midway point. Of course, the health of the quarterback has to be right up there as well. Michael Bush is the running back. And here is Walter. Finally get rid of it, and it's tipped and incomplete, and Julius Peppers got a hand on it. And right now, let's go to LA, a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Steelers without running back Willie Parker because of injury, but that's okay. They've got more, as in Miweldi Moore. His second touchdown of the game put the Steelers up by 7 in the second quarter over the Colts. Back to Dick, Brian, and Laura.
All right, thank you, Kurt. But the interesting game here, 7-0, Carolina scoring after the turnover on the opening kickoff.
Watch Julius Peppers. He's going to drop into coverage here. Just using him as a decoy, get the tackle and the tight ends over there, and then just become an athlete here. Was a star player at UNC Chapel Hill, and that looked like just a good rejection on the play.
Now, Jake Grove, who was guilty of the personal foul moments ago, is injured and being helped off the field. This is an official timeout.
And this is huge. We saw on
the ball's biggest games this January only on Fox.
With that change at center, Julius Peppers goes right inside to test the interior.
And Michael Bush with the carry, and a good one at that. Flag goes down from upfield, and Michael Bush is tackled at the 27-yard line by Chris Harris after the 12-yard gain, pending the call.
Holding, offense number 81. 10-yard penalty, still third down.
Penalties really hurting the Raiders. That's Chaz Schillens, the rookie wide receiver, holding. And it's going to be 4th down, and Leckler will come in to kick.
And it always, as a coach, drives you nuts to have a receiver. You love the effort, but your receiver's got to know you are the easiest target on the field. That is the easiest thing to see. You can get away with some inline holding, but not down the field like that.
Leckler will be kicking to Mark Jones. He's gotten off a few beauties so far, has Shane Leckler. Another one here. Jones backpedals to the 10. And a good return by Mark Jones down the far sideline. And a return of 23 yards. And let's look ahead to the NFL next week on Fox at 4 o'clock. It all starts with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. First down at the 33-yard line, and the play is blown dead. A false start call against Carolina.
False start. Offense number 89. 5 yards. First down.
There's the man.
Well, he's going up against Nnamdi Asomugha here, who is a long, lean cornerback. Long legs, long arms, sitting on the inside of Steve Smith. That little flinch there, Steve knows he was wrong.
Carolina leads the NFL in false start penalties by a great margin. Almost half more than anyone else. That was their 22nd. 1st and 15. Jonathan Stewart carries out to the 30, and it'll be 2nd and long.
Now, the old coach in me keeps coming out because I've seen a wide receiver get called for holding down the field. I've seen a wide receiver who has nothing to do with getting off on the ball in terms of affecting the play. Both that, as a coach, that's one you could go out, choke him to death. There's not a court in America would convict you, right? Because you ought not to be doing those things.
Yeah, I'm sure you've done that enough.
A good lawyer will find that court.
That's right.
2nd down and 13. Dalome's numbers, he's passed for only 36 yards. Not a good first half statistically, but his team leads. Backpedaling, and the pass is incomplete. Not close on a bounce to Jeff King.
That time they came after Jake Delhomme with the blitz. Not much pressure from this team, but you're going to see it coming from Kirk Morrison here. He's just picking his way. He's just trying to find the opening, along with the safety, Jabril Wilson, who came in. And I'm just reading the Sunday paper out here today. Jabril Wilson, who's got a Super Bowl ring with the New York Giants, said this Raider team has as much talent as that Giant team that won a Super Bowl.
You got a newspaper. Should have given it to me. I was looking for one.
We may see more pressure. They're feeling the ropes here a little bit. You know, I think Rob Ryan may start to bring that pressure more and more.
3rd down and 13. And the inside handoff to D'Angelo Williams. And 4th down coming up. And the Panthers will have to kick. And you said at the outset, Coach, John Fox, what do you tell his team? You're playing the Raiders, the beleaguered Raiders. You got Detroit next week. You got to win these two.
And Atlanta, who has beaten New Orleans now. Tampa Bay's breathing down your back. You talk about a pressure. This is as big a pressure as John Fox is going to see all year.
You said he'd be nervous here today because they're expected to win this game.
Jason Baker kicking to Johnny Lee Harris. Giving ground is Harris back inside the 15, and down he goes. Johnny Lee Higgins, that is, correction. And he is down at the 15-yard line. Wesley on the play. Well, let's take a look. When you travel, West Coast teams going east 0-12, but when you go the other way, and that'll include Arizona as well, we'll say the West Coast there, 500.
I'd just refuse to go east if I was the West Coast team.
Yeah.
If I look at that, I mean, why even get on the plane?
Well, John Fox changed his way that they travel. I mean, when they came west here, they left on Friday. They started that last year. They've beaten Arizona and San Diego, leaving on Friday.
Vargas muffs the ball, and he covers up in a hurry. And that was could have been disaster. Loss of 4 yards on 1st down.
Now, Baldy, right now this is where the 2 and 6 and all the things that go attendant to that. How many long down and distances have we seen Oakland now, whether it be a penalty, a holding penalty, a personal foul? Now you fumble the ball, you're at 2nd and 14. you know, I'm not as good calling 2nd and 14 as I am 2nd and 6.
Well, they're their own worst enemy right now. I mean, with the personal fouls, the penalties, the dropped toss play there by Fargas, you put yourself in a deep hole.
Javon Walker to the bottom of your picture. On 2nd down and 14, they'll run it to Fargas. And Fargas spins his way past the 15. And it'll be 3rd down, and they still need 9 yards after the 6-yard pickup.
No, we have commented that the fact that the Raiders are competing here today, but the Panthers come in here 6-2 at the turn. Offensively, they've been non-existent. The Raiders have beat them. But their special teams are playing great. Their defense is playing great right now. And so sometimes other areas of your team, if you're a really good team, has got to carry you, and the Panthers are.
3rd down and 8 for the Raiders. And a timeout called by Carolina. Well, it has been a rough year, particularly for coaches here in the state of California. And wherever you go, there have been some changes made. Let's start out in San Diego, where Ted Cottrell was fired as defensive coordinator, and the former Bear assistant Ron Rivera took over as defensive coordinator. Mike Nolan fired as head coach for the 49ers right in this Bay Area, and Mike Singletary then became the head coach. Doesn't end there. Of course, Lane Kiffin was the head coach here, and replaced by Tom Cable, and there was some contentious events coming out of that firing here. And of course, in Los Angeles, still looking for a franchise.
Yeah. Raiders, of course, were the last team there. Came back to Oakland here, trying to resume the winning ways that John Gruden brought here.
3rd down and 8
years ago.
On the 17. Walter rolling out and pointing. Can't find a receiver. And going the other way, and we're going to have a flag upfield at the 41-yard line. So good coverage downfield. Let's see if it was just good coverage.
Contact in the middle of the field with Chaz Schillens.
There's no foul for intentional grounding or illegal contact. The quarterback was out of the pocket. The ball got back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
So it's 4th down and another punting situation for Oakland.
Well, there was illegal contact by Carolina, but the quarterback out of the pocket, it nullifies that foul.
Right. If he's in the pocket, anything that takes a receiver off his path that way can be called. But you have to, obviously, as you get outside the pocket, there's all sorts of things that come into play, not the least of which you could become a blocker.
So here's Shane Leckler, who has averaged 53 yards a kick. Mark Jones waiting for it on the 26. And a good tackle. Terrific play made by Trevor Scott on special teams after the 57-yard punt by Shane Leckler. 3:12 remaining. Coming up next, it's the Visa halftime show as we reveal the new Alabama with a big win.
Surviving in Baton Rouge yesterday.
That's all you can expect to do, Baldy.
Yeah.
1st down, handoff to D'Angelo Williams, and his best run of the day, spins off a tackler, and here is a foot race down to the end, and D'Angelo Williams will get in for the touchdown. 69 yards to silence this crowd here at the Coliseum. And it was Rashad Baker who had the first shot and missed him.
Well, this is the kind of speed, the explosiveness the Carolina Panthers are counting on D'Angelo Williams. He caught a little grief for getting run down a couple weeks ago, and he made it very clear that wasn't going to happen again if he could get out in front of a defense. And nice little wiggle at the end to avoid coming up from behind. Great explosive play by the young third-year player from Memphis.
Well, Rashad Baker's got to make that play 8 yards deep. He's got both hands wrapped around him.
Casey with the extra point, and John Casey hasn't missed a kick all year, and Williams with a 69-yard run, easily the longest play from scrimmage this year for the Carolina Panthers, and they now lead it 14-0. The 4th touchdown rushing for D'Angelo Williams. Let's check in with Laura.
I was talking to D'Angelo this week about his relationship. Him and Jonathan Stewart, and said the problem with you two is you're so similar when it comes to that 1-2 backfield punch. You can't have a great nickname, not like that Thunder and Lightning. And he kind of smiled and said, actually, I have one. I haven't told anyone, but let me try this out on you guys, see if you like it. Smash and dash. He being the dash. What do you think?
What do you think?
Well, he just had a pretty good dash, a 69-yard dash, Laura. I would say that that name could stick with more runs like that.
You do enough of those, you can call yourself whatever you want.
True.
You can make people call you whatever you want.
Well, I tell you, I mean, he's had 2 great games in a row. The last game against Arizona 2 weeks ago went well over 100 yards in that game. And when you stay with the run, Coach, when you're able to stay with it because your defense is keeping you in a position that you can, eventually one of those you're going to be able to break.
This is the formula for the Carolina Panthers. This is the way they want to win. Run the ball, they'll come up with some explosive plays down the field, primarily out of the pass, and play that great defense that they've played for a number of years here.
Asamoah had one last shot. It looked like he wanted to knock the ball away, but those stopping D'Angelo Williams, who's on pace to become the first 1,000-yard rusher since Stephen Davis 5 years ago. Johnny Lee Higgins on the return, and a flag is thrown as Higgins is down at the 27.
This keeps popping up again.
During the return, holding 50 on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's not like the coaches, and you look at the head coach Tom Cable, it's not like you coach your players to hold, to jump off sides. You don't. You really don't. But the discipline.
Penalty was on Isaiah Ekajuba. Got to drive you crazy.
Where's that court? Can I go out and choke a guy again? And
first down under 3 minutes to go. And here is Andrew Walter with plenty of time, but the pass is incomplete. Couldn't find a receiver.
Well, I mean, the big picture here for the Oakland Raiders is they're playing with much better effort today. I mean, Tom Cable will award them that. They gave up the big play that should not have
holding.
been.
Offense number 44.
There's another one.
His decline, second down.
But now, all day for 14 yards, and you're not going to beat the Carolina Panthers going a long field without getting the ball to your wide receivers.
5 penalties, 54 yards against Oakland. 2nd and 10 with 2:46 remaining in the half. And the swing pass, and managing to hold on is Michael Bush, being close to dropping it, and he winds up close to the first down. We'll see where they spot the ball.
the hard things with the penalties, Baldy, is that they've got 5 penalties, and I don't know this, but it's probably 5 different guys. So you can get through the end of the game, and you had 1 penalty on you, and you got to feel like, yeah, I did okay today.
Right.
But then if you got every starter on the offense that brings about a penalty, you've lost that game, and that's the hard thing sometimes, to bring that focus to the players.
First down.
And that's how you have to think as a player. I cost my team today. That was a bad play on my part, and it hurt us.
Bush again, and tackled at the 29 after a short game by John Beeson, and we're down to our 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go in the first half. The two coaches looking on. It's second down for the Raiders after the 2-minute warning, and this pass is caught up the middle by Zach Miller, and Miller gets a first down into Panther territory. Davis downfield makes the stop. So Miller, the leading receiver for the Raiders coming into this game, a 28-yard pickup.
And just a comfort zone there with Andrew Walter, the biggest play of the day for the Raiders to get on the other side of the 50.
And a bad snap by the backup center, Chris Morris, and fortunately Andrew Walter saved it back there. It looked like they were punting, but they weren't. And now the ball is back to the 44-yard line.
Well,
and a loss of 14.
Center. You're talking about a new center, a quarterback with his first start. These are predictable to a degree, regrettable but predictable.
And remember, the Raiders have no timeouts remaining. And this pass to Miller is short and off to the right, incomplete.
It's almost hard not to go. Here we go again. I mean, it really is. I mean, you make the biggest play of the day offense. My short 9-start career here in Oakland.
Knee tendonitis, and Russell getting the week off. And there we'll have a penalty.
False start.
False start.
Offense number 74. There's no 10-second runoff. The snap was outside of a minute.
Cornell Green. So
They're
again,
down
just
after a 5-yard penalty.
Coach, just when the Raiders are starting to move the ball and have something going, boom.
And that's the challenge for Tom Cable now. He's going to have to go back in that locker room and whatever you got to do to jolt these guys. We are better than this. We've played better than this. Okay, here's where you're at. You're down 14, but we cannot go out and execute this way.
3rd down and 28. And Walter can only do one thing. And out of bounds he goes. John Beeson. Little push there.
Well, here comes Peppers on the backside. I mean, they put Zach Miller on him. He just, look what Peppers did to him. I mean, you just can't leave a tight end.
Sound owners in the NFL, one of the classiest guys, and we wish Jerry Richardson well. And the fair catch by Mark Jones with 53 seconds remaining.
Hey, Coach, I just want to say, I mean, they've had the coaching change, obviously. Lane Kiffin out. And we're seeing these problems on offense just pop up series after series. There's so many distractions going on here. Do you think the concentration it lacks during practice, and that's what we're seeing here during the game?
Nobody wants to do poorly. And so during the course of practice, during the game, you know they want to focus. It's the subtle things in terms of that attention to detail that come back and catch up.
Well, the Panthers still have a timeout remaining. 1st down from their 25. And the slant pass to Steve Smith. And for Steve Smith, that was his first catch of the game.
That catch was against Chris Johnson. Just a little short 8-yard slant.
And an 8-yard pickup. 2nd and 2. DeLome chased from behind, and this pass was tipped downfield by Asamoah, and a flag goes down. So another penalty marker here. .27 seconds on the clock in the first half.
Nandi Asamoah, and he's just too good an athlete.
3rd down and 2, and they hand off to Jonathan Stewart. 1st down out to the 37-yard line. Panthers still with a timeout remaining and not achieved on the offensive side. 1st down with 20 seconds to go, and they loft this pass to Musa Muhammad, who makes the catch, and a 1st down.
They'll run up and kill the clock here.
Yep, does not get out of bounds. 27 yards on this play. And they clock it with 4 seconds on the clock. Laura Oakman field goal.
In the gap with your helmet, in the gap.
21 straight. And can tie his own team record if he connects here. This is a long one, 54 yards for Casey. And this kick is going to be close, and it is no good. So the streak ends at 21. First miss of the year by John Casey, and that is the end of the first half. With the score, the Panthers 14 and the Raiders nothing. Fox NFL Sunday continues with the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. For the start of the 3rd quarter here at Oakland, with the Panthers leading 14-0. Talking to the team at halftime, you know, you said keep your focus in the game so you can talk to them about it. How do they do it?
Well, they don't have a lot of history right now of fighting through something like this. So that's where you've got to bring their focus. The energy level, the focus is going to be there or it's not. But what we talked about, the energy level, play with passion. The focus will come. We'll fight through the distractions, but keep showing me that passion.
Carolina loves it the way it's going, right?
Well, I mean, look, they'd like to have a better offensive performance, but the special teams have been great. The defenses have been solid right here. They're keeping him in the game, and then they got the big run from D'Angelo Williams. So right now, I don't think that they can complain about this shutout that they have going here going into the 3rd quarter.
This is the 4th time this year that the Raiders have been shut out in the first half, so we see where the problems are with them.
Well, and you don't want those demons to start creeping into your mind. You don't want the players, when the players get to a point where it's, boy, we're snake bit, this just isn't going to happen, then you're dead. You're absolutely dead. They can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, and Tom Cable told us, he said the one game where they really played hard since he's been here in 2 years was the New York Jet win a couple of weeks ago in overtime, where he felt like both sides of the ball were pulling for each other. throughout the game. That's what they need here in the second half.
Sebastian Janikowski kicks it deep into the end zone, and the Panthers will down it and bring it out to the 20-yard line. So 2 interceptions by Oakland.
They had a chance. I mean, you know, Nnamdi Asomugha gets interception guarding Steve Smith. And then Rashard Baker came over the top from a safety position, picked off Jake Delhomme. But credit Carolina's defense. They've been able to shut Oakland down and not allow them to capitalize off the 2 turnovers.
And you see the 1 turnover that really hurt the Raiders was when Higgins fumbled the opening kickoff, and from the 16-yard line, the pass to Muhsin Muhammad from Delhomme, and that was the big first touchdown. Delhomme, first down, and the first play of the 3rd quarter is intercepted, and it's going to be Rashard Baker with his 2nd of the game.
And here's the difference. We just talked about the turnovers, but now this is a turnover on their side of the field. The first two turnovers, Oakland had to go the length of the field. Now they're already in the red zone. Let's see if they can come up with something.
Well, Rashard Baker was covering Dante Rosario coming across the middle, and that was a one-handed stab and catch. Delhomme wanted to go to Steve Smith, but he was completely blanketed by Nnamdi Asomugha, and so he went to his backdoor throw. And Rashard Baker, the 2nd catch of the day for him.
Jake Delhomme had only 5 interceptions coming into this game, has thrown 3, so the Raiders may not get a better opportunity than they have right now, Coach.
Well, and they've got to convert on it.
First down from the 25, trailing by 2 touchdowns. And Walker is going to Javon Walker and throws it out. Good coverage by Chris Gamble as we check in with Laura Oakman.
Well, obviously, you guys know that is exactly what Tom Cable said that he wanted to do. He said that he went into that locker room at halftime and said to the defense, stay in this thing. You've given up 1 big play. We are 1 play away from turning it around, so keep your heads in it when you get out there. Offensively, he said, this time it's the 3rd down that's killing us. Before they couldn't get a first down, they're getting those 1st and 2nd downs, have to take advantage of the 3rd downs.
2nd down and 10, and Fargas with the run. Coach?
Yeah, and here it's good news, bad news. We got a turnover. Just what we needed to start the half. We're down in the red zone. Now all of a sudden you got a 3rd and long to convert. If they don't come away with anything more than a field goal here, then you run that risk of the team falling back into the malaise of, gosh, even with a turnover, we can't get a break. We can't convert on this.
Well, I mean, it's hard to convert when Julius Peppers is dominating the line of scrimmage. He did against Quayne Harris on that last play.
3rd down and 10 from the 25. And Michael Bush in the game gets the ball and trying to cut inside. Does a pretty good job, gets to the 20. But it'll be 4th down, and they still need 5 yards. Damian Lewis making the tackle, and so Janikowski comes on to try to give Oakland some points here early in the 3rd.
Carolina wins this. This is a win for them. To be put on a short field, their defense. This is one of those things as a coach you build on it. Hey, you covered our backside defense. Right now, Jake Delhomme is saying, okay, that's what team is all about.
38-yard attempt by Janikowski. And the kick is good. So the Raiders finally score, and it's 14-3, still early in the 3rd. We'll be right back.
My country takes.
Back here in Oakland with the Panthers lead now 14-3 as the Raiders score their first points in 7 quarters and a little over 2 minutes. Long drought. Janikowski will be kicking off. And Mark Jones back deep for Carolina. And another boomer about 5 yards in, and after thinking about it, Jones will take the knee, touchback, and the Panthers will come out to the 20.
Carolina, we've talked about in the open, wanted to establish the run, and minus the 1 big run that they had early in the or later in the 2nd quarter in D'Angelo Williams, I got to believe that John Fox wants to control the tempo of the game. Let's play some smash mouth football and take control of the clock as well as the game.
Delhomme is amazingly only 72 yards to this point. 3 interceptions. First down from the 20. Here's D'Angelo Williams. Breaks away from a tackle and makes something out of very little, to say the least. That's a pretty good run by Williams, Baldy.
Well, I mean, Dash, the guy that he calls himself Dash here, I mean, he gets completely stuffed at the line of scrimmage. But one thing about DeAngelo Williams, you watched him at the University of Memphis, you watched him especially this year with Carolina. He's never down to his knees on the ground. I mean, he's a small guy that's hard to find, but he's got very good balance, strong legs, good balance. And so you better wrap this guy up and make sure you get him down to the ground.
He got 7 yards on that play when it could have been a loss. 2nd and 3. And here is Williams trying to test the outside. And the flag goes down, and he is down by Jabril Wilson. So a flag is there, and on that previous play, DeAngelo Williams reached the 100-yard mark.
Holding. Offense number 88. 10-yard penalty, it's still 2nd down.
Stante Rosario, the tight end, holding.
So a guy who's playing great today is right here, Rashard Baker. He's the one that's going to be held on the play. Obviously the 2 interceptions, but look at the hands. The hands, he's setting the edge out there, Coach. He's establishing, making Williams goes inside, and he's the one that won that battle by getting his hands on the tight end, Rosario, establishing position, the line of scrimmage, and backing Carolina up as a result.
It was his job to force the play inside, and he would have without the hold.
2nd down and 13. Jonathan Stewart checking in at tailback. Play fake to him. DeLoe throws it, and incomplete. Downfield was Muhsin Muhammad. And it'll be 3rd down and long.
So the uproar this week is obviously unloading DeAngelo Hall after 8 games. And then really adjusting this whole secondary. And everybody in the secondary, outside of one missed tackle, Chris Johnson getting the start today for DeAngelo Hall, has challenged the receivers. Rashard Baker now getting a chance to play a lot more. We've talked about Nnamdi Asomugha. These 3 guys have competed all day long.
And they're showing that they can compete as a unit. That's the hardest thing when you rotate a player and get rid of the DeAngelo Hall the way they did.
Big play here for the Raider defense to try to get back in it. 3rd down, and this pass is going to be off the hands of Stewart. Incomplete. And 4th down, a flag is down at the top far sideline at the 24.
Before the pass, holding. Defense number 37. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Chris Johnson, this one hurts.
Well, here's Chris Johnson on Muhsin Muhammad.
Oh, not much, a little pedestrian.
Come on,
there.
that's inside 5 yards. The quarterback wasn't looking that way.
And this is being discussed by the league. It's 3rd and 12, a little 5-yard penalty. They're going to look at in the offseason. Let's make this, go ahead and make this 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Let's don't give them an automatic 1st down. Because right now, there's an inequity in the rule.
Yes, they've earned the right to get off the field, and now here's Carolina with the 1st down.
And a big one for the Panthers. And there is DeLoe going up on top for Gary Barnidge. The 3rd tight end, rookie from Louisville, incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10. But here's a momentum breaker on that penalty, whether it was earned or not. The Panthers get a new set of downs, and now the Raiders forced to make another stop.
Now, Dickie, that's all about mental toughness, though. I mean, it is so easy to get down after you get off the field, earn the right to get off the field, force the punt. They get a new set of downs. You got to, refocus, say, we got to do this again. I mean, that's what Rob Ryan wants to tell his players. Let's go out there. We've stopped them once. Let's stop them again.
2nd down and 10, and the pitch to Jonathan Stewart. And Stewart, 2nd effort, brings himself out to the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 as Asomugha comes up to make the play.
Asomugha is some athlete. I mean, 2 years ago, he had 8 interceptions, sort of put himself out there on the map. He was... No, he's been here for all 6 years, and 6 years of nonstop losing. But this guy is the consummate professional. He learned from Rod Woodson. He learned from Ronnie Lott, some real pros in his game about taking notes, staying competitive every game, and having a heck of a day here today.
3rd down and 4. And Jake DeLoe going up on top and overthrows DJ Hackett, bringing up 4th down. And, of course, Asomugha, not only that, is the only one in his family who has only 1 degree. That's what kind of family he has education-wise, Coach.
Yeah, And as Baldy was talking about earlier, he sought these guys sought him out. They saw the talent. Even though he was a first-round draft choice, he didn't explode on the scene.
No.
This was a 3- and 4-year maturation for him.
I saw him at practice on Friday. He's one of those guys that still gets his ankles taped on Friday. Steps on the field, he's ready to go practice and compete.
And it took a Raider bounce, and they're going to mark. They throw the peg up to where the ball was at around the 40-yard line. It'll be good field position for Oakland when we come back. Fadden, the leading rusher, the rookie for the Raiders, the 4th overall pick out of Arkansas, who has been out now the last couple of weeks with turf toe. And a first down for the Raiders on the 41. Good field position here. Got to settle for a field goal after the interception the last time, and the handoff to Barkas, and he is going to be knocked back for a loss by Gary Gibson. They'll lose 3 on the first down.
Boy, Gary Gibson comes in and just stuffs the line of scrimmage. Cooper Carlisle and Cornell Green over there, gets right on Cooper Carlisle, takes him backwards with just a rip move, and there was no place for Fargas to go. This is a zone blocking scheme, meaning there isn't a lot of pulling by the guards or the tackles, trying to just build defense. Penetration kills it in the backfield. Really just stops those plays.
Fargas has gained 61 yards on 13 carries, nearly 5 yards a clip. Second down and 13 following that loss, and Walters passed, and it is incomplete. No flag down. Luke Lawton, the fullback, and it was Niall Diggs all over him.
Now, Baldy, what I'm not seeing here, and these are what has gone on today, I don't see Javon Walker.
No.
Javon Walker came in here under a big contract. They say he's feeling healthy now. Pivotal time, you get decent field position. Javon Walker's got to start showing up in this offense.
He's got one catch today. The only one catch from Javon down at the bottom against Chris Gamble here, and he has not been a part of the game plan today.
Third down and 13. Here comes the pressure. And it's incomplete as the pass was intended for Zach Miller.
Julius Peppers working against Cornell Green here. No help. See, that's speed to power. Power is when he turns into that tackle and shoots those 2 arms right there and just backs them right into the quarterback's lap.
And down the field, the receiver's got to help the quarterback here a little bit. You got to catch balls that are going to hit you in the hand.
The 8th punt of the game for Shane Leckler coming up. Running up to meet this is Mark Jones at the 20-yard line. And the Raiders, they've had good coverage today. And Jones is down at the 27. And welcome back to Oakland. Dick Stockton, Brian Baldinger, Baldy, and the coach, Brian Billick. Laura Oakman down on the field. Panthers lead 14-3. First down on the 28-yard line for Jake Delhomme, and Jonathan Stewart rushes as he crosses the 30-yard line. Kalimba Edwards the tackle and a gain of 3. Delhomme, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 72 yards in the air. D'Angelo Williams has a 100-yard game, but 69 coming on his touchdown run. And Muhsin Muhammad, who caught the initial touchdown following the turnover in the first quarter. We've had 132 yards passing for both quarterbacks right now. Second down. And Delhomme. And it's intercepted. Sam Williams picks it off. And Brad Hoover, the fullback, off of his hands. And the 4th interception thrown by Jake Delhomme gives the Raiders the ball back.
Now, Jake's not having a great day, obviously, but this is one where the ball's delivered in behind him. The receiver reaches up and bats. Jake Delhomme is a good quarterback. He's never been a great quarterback in terms of completion percentage. He's got just at 60% on his career. It shows up in the third down package as well, is why they're in the middle of the league third down wise. They're going to test this Carolina defense one more time on a short field.
That just wasn't an accurate throw, Coach.
From the 32-yard line, let's see if the Raiders can do anything here against the Panther defense, which has been stout. And the play action on first down. And there is Walter, and through the hands of Justin Fargas, who is wrapped up by Niall Diggs. Second down.
But one thing about this Panther defense, Coach, and we've watched them a bunch this year, is they challenge every throw. I mean, you just don't see guys, you know, wide open down the field. And if you got a shot like they just did, somebody's hitting the receiver as the ball's coming.
And they're never statistically up there with the Pittsburghs, the Tennessees, the Baltimores. But when you say Carolina around the league, they think great defense, physical. They're a physical defense.
Second down and 10, Fargas. And Fargas gets to the 27-yard line. By the way, those 4 interceptions ties the career high for Jake Delhomme. Fargas gets 6 yards and will come out of the game.
Trent Walter, I'm sorry, Baldy.
No, I'm just saying the defense here has constantly been put in a position today to rescue the bad play of Jake Delhomme in the offense. And here they are again with the Raiders with good field position on this third down.
Raiders need 5. And here's Walter. And this pass will be incomplete to Chaz Schillen. So fourth down coming up. I'll tell you what, the Panthers' aggressiveness. And let's see if we have an injury down there.
Well, we've shown a lot of highlights here of Julius Peppers again. Quayne Harris just in retreat, gets on to Andrew Walter there, affects that throw, crushes the pocket again, and just an absolute dominant performance by Peppers from start to here in the third quarter.
Schillens limps off the field, and now Janikowski with a 45-yard attempt clicked from 38 yards earlier here in the third quarter. And Janikowski's kick is good, and he has broken George Blanda's record for the most points in a career. Christian Janikowski breaks the record of one of the more popular Raiders in history, George Blanda, with career points. Most all-time in Raider history, the 45-yard field goal, and now it is 14-6. And the kickoff by Janikowski, fielded at the goal line by Mark Jones. And Jones with a good return. Jones into Raider territory, and it's Janikowski who pushes him out of bounds at the 40. So all of a sudden, the joy gets a little quieter here.
Well, with the best return by Mark Jones this year, and he gets a good start behind Jeremy Bridges, 73. Gets a good block there. Good block on the outside against Trevor Scott. And that's all Mark Jones needed. And then Janikowski, who just broke George Blanda's record, saved the day, saved that touchdown.
58-yard return by Jones. His longest one till now was 38 yards. And now the Panthers in this one-score game, leading 14-6. Handoff to D'Angelo Williams, and no gain on the play. And right now for a game break, let's check in again with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Chargers have been down to the Chiefs all day long, but not anymore. Phillip Rivers to Malcolm Floyd, 5 yards on the score, and the Chargers have tied it 13 apiece now in the third quarter. Back to Dick and the Killer Bees, plus Laura.
All right, Kurt.
Now, Rob Ryan is selling out here. It's a one-score game. They can't let them in field goal position here to take it back to a two-score game.
Second and 10 at the 41. D'Angelo Williams on the handoff, and he'll move his way to the 37. Picking up 4, and Williams is slow getting up.
The interior of the Raider defensive line. Thomas Kelly, Gerard Warren, looking at him right now, have had a good day. They have stacked up the interior of the Carolina Panther offensive line. They've done their job inside here this afternoon.
Third down and 6. And Williams will go down at the 45. Gerard Warren. And you had just mentioned him, Baldy, with the big sack bringing up fourth down out of field goal range.
Huge play by the Raiders defense, Baldy, inside.
Well, I mean, Gerard Warren gets a good takeoff. He beats Travell Wharton just clean, right on the outside. Almost looked like Travell Wharton thought he was going to get help on that play, and he got none. And they just did what you said Rob Ryan needed them to do, to keep them out of field goal range and to keep this within a one-score range.
Huge series by the Raiders right there.
Jason Baker will be kicking, and Johnny Lee Higgins Waiting at about the 10-yard line. And trying to keep it inside the 20 and succeeding is Baker. The fair catch called at the 10-yard line. But a good defensive stop after the great kick return by Jones. It'll be Oakland ball when we come back. The Raiders 14-6. Both starting centers out of there. Jake Grove replaced by Chris Morris, and Ryan Khalil giving way as well with an earlier injury. First down at the 11. And Fargas, and nothing there for Fargas, who's been the leading rusher today and has run well.
How about the obligatory Julius Peppers replay here? Just coming down the line of scrimmage, untouched. That is a head of steam. Just a one-arm tackle. Just throw the left arm out there and just curl him up and wrap him to the ground.
And holding on to his left arm.
Yeah, he was hurt on that play.
Second down and 10. Both Fargas and Michael Bush are in the lineup. And here's Andrew Walter, and on the screen getting it to Michael Bush. Bush will get the first down as he crosses the 20-yard line. And a gain of 12 yards with Thomas Davis, the linebacker, downfield.
Just looking at Andrew Walter, I mean, he's not having a great day. Can't get the ball to the outside. He's been under pressure throughout the afternoon, but the expression on him never changes. I mean, he looks like, you know, he's not getting overly worked up here, that they're still in the game, that he's got another couple plays in him.
But Baldy, he's wearing number 16, and the last quarterback to wear that was Jim Plunkett for the Oakland Raiders.
That's a good one.
I would think. Super Bowl quarterback, and breaking through is Justin Fargas, getting close, but missing by a yard on the first down.
They're beginning to get a bit of rhythm here. If they can maintain this between the runs, the play action, their stretch play, expect to see another boot or waggle in here at some point. They've tried to stay away from pressure that way and use the complete package. I'll say it again. At some point, if they're going to score on this drive, Baldy, Javon Walker's going to have to show up.
He's the guy that is out wide now, working against Ken Lucas up at the top.
On second down and 1, they'll run the ball to Michael Bush, and Bush will be knocked back and did not appear to get the first down thanks to Niall Diggs, the strong side backer for the Panthers.
Now, if you're going to make a play like that, Brian, you're going to have to earn it. Carolina's not giving you anything. They're not breaking down. They don't blow assignments out here defensively. They've been on the field a long time. They've been asked to do a lot today, and they've delivered. This is a team that you earn everything you get.
And in the inside, when you have Damian Lewis and Maki Kinuatu, you're not just going to hand off a quick dive even on a second one and guarantee yourself anything with the size and just the sheer bulk inside that those two represent.
Well, they're 1 for 12 in third down, and they got the fullback Luke Lawton in there, and they give it to Michael Bush, who gets the first down out to the 34. Peppers on the tackle, but they got the strength at the point of attack, and they run for the first down. John Fox's team is in for a game more than they perhaps wanted from this club in this late third quarter. You
know, they're coming off a bye week where they had 4 days off. Now you have to get back into the flow. Then you have to travel west here. And they watched the tape last week, and against the Falcons, they didn't look like they gave any effort. And it is a hard job to motivate your team. And he said, you've got to motivate your team. That's his #1 job today.
Play action. And here comes the linebacker chasing Beeson, but the pass is caught by Zach Miller, and another first down. Very heady play by Andrew Walter, and a terrific catch by Miller.
Well, they bootleg away from Peppers. So now the race is on. How much time can he buy until something opens up? Zach Miller, I tell you, that's a great throw against Chris Gamble and a lot of outstretched Panther hands to get that ball in.
And Peppers is out of the game. Remember, he was holding on to his arm, and Charles Johnson, number 95, who has replaced him. Peppers today with a couple of sacks, bunch of hurries, few knockdowns, and the usual array of tackles.
I'm not so sure you don't see a shot here.
And here comes the pressure on Walter, and down he goes as he is unable to keep Thomas Davis away from it, and will have a loss on the third sack of the game of 7.
Good call by Mike Turgevac there, the defensive coordinator of Carolina, because Pepper goes out for the first time today. To replace him, they brought pressure. They brought Thomas Davis on the blitz, thinking maybe this is the time to take a shot.
Yeah, the conventional thing is, okay, you keep the drive alive, you're going to run the ball, come up and stack the box. I'm thinking from the Oakland standpoint, here's a good chance to get one-on-one coverage down the field.
Johnson is not Peppers, but he's not chopped liver either.
Oh, and it was interesting that Julius Peppers signaled him out yesterday in our conversation.
Here is Michael Bush on the run, and he is ganged up on, led by Gary Gibson. No gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd and long, almost 3rd and about 20 for the Raiders.
You know, when Coach would constantly bring up this week in meetings with the Panthers about how close and similar the numbers are between this team and the team that went to the Super Bowl in 2003. Nobody in the Panthers wanted to hear it. Nobody wants to hear the comparisons. Nobody wants to hear this early in the season, could we go to the Super Bowl? They got tough games like this that they have to get through and win before anybody can think like that.
Well, Peppers is back in there. There you see him lined up at left defensive end on 3rd down and 17. And there is Walters, and he'll throw the ball away. He's trying to go to the right side all the way and didn't have a receiver. And Fargas covered by Peppers. The pass defender, number 90 here.
And that's where Andrew Walter wanted to go. He wanted to go to Fargas. And look at this. This won't show up in the stat column tomorrow. Oh, he covered Bush there. That won't show up in the stat column, but he just took a possible reception away to Michael Bush.
That's pretty good. Almost a coverage sack by your defensive end. That's pretty good. When you can get a coverage.
He still get another sack, huh?
Exactly right. That should add to his total.
Leckler punting on 4th down. And Mark Jones will let it go into the end zone for the touchback. And the Panthers will take it out at the 20. The NFL on Fox next week. Bears and Packers both lost today. They're going to be for tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern.
Too many punts. And too many punts for both sides.
1st down at the 20. Jonathan Stewart, and brought down hard by Kirk Morrison.
Look at just the effort that the Raiders defense have performed with all afternoon. Howard and Morrison. We talked about the guys up front, Warren and Thomas Kelly. It's a group that's playing hard, playing for each other right now, and shutting down a pretty good offense. An offense that scored 30 points against New Orleans, 27 points against Arizona the last 2 weeks. And right now, outside of a turnover that they capitalized on, one big play is all they surrender.
Under a minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 10. And Jake Delhomme's pass incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd down as we check in with Laura.
Well, you guys, I was talking to a lot of Raiders players this week and asking if all of a sudden the Panthers go up 1 score, 2 scores on you guys, what am I going to see on the sidelines? Every player said to me, I have no idea. You tell us when you see it. I've been watching them this entire game. If you would tell me that this team is 2-6 in the midst of so much turmoil, I wouldn't have believed you. They are into this game. They've been chatting nonstop to each other, to coaches, and cheering each other on the whole time.
3rd and 10. Delhomme incomplete. A lot of his passes, guys, have not even been close to their receivers, Coach.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about Jake Delhomme not being a particularly accurate quarterback. His career just at 60%. Maybe everything seems to be sailing high, Baldy. I don't know whether there's something injury-wise, but everything seems to be sailing a little high on him.
And this ball does as well. Pretty good pocket for him. Well, that ball looked like it was high because DJ Hackett was getting spun as the ball was going by.
Baker with the kick. Johnny Lee Higgins from the 35. Backing up and going down. Great coverage on that punt by the Panthers.
A thing that can make a difference for here, because right now we're not hitting on anything.
The one thing they've gone to when they have struggled this year is to the Wildcat with D'Angelo Williams at the tailback running that part of the offense.
On 1st down, Justin Fargas. He's been a workhorse, doesn't get much. Maybe a yard off of right tackle. And Maaki Kiboyatu. I'm sorry.
No just gain. Looking.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at the face that's coming through the mask of Maaki right there. Can't contain it all.
Chemo, as we called him in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Chemo was with us in Baltimore. And you talk about a guy that just a phenomenal athlete. Mm-hmm. You get him on the basketball court and watch that size dunk a basketball. But I tell you what, you're talking about a guy that loves life, loves the game. It's Maaki.
That's a heck of a nose strip he's got on there, too.
It's the end of the third quarter. The Panthers lead the Raiders 14-6. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Don't know how many people figured a one-score game coming into the fourth quarter, but that's what we've got as we start the fourth. And it's a second down and 10 at the 36. Farkas is the setback. Raiders trying to mount an offense. They have 2 field goals to show today, and the pass is caught by Javon Walker. There's your guy, and a first down right near midfield.
The scoring today after 3 quarters went like this. Jake Delhomme flipped a 3-yard touchdown pass to Muhsin Muhammad, and then D'Angelo Williams went 69 yards right up the gut to make it 14-0. And in the third quarter, Sebastian Janikowski with the new Raider record for scoring, breaking George Blanda's record with 2 field goals. We're 14-6 here in the fourth quarter.
13-yard pass play and a first down at the 49. Farkas up the middle. Gets tripped up, but picks up about 5 yards. Nile Diggs on the tackle. Jake Delhomme, guys, in the third quarter was 0 for 7 and 2 interceptions.
Well, and I think he's 7 of 25 on the day. This is Jake Delhomme is never about the stats. It's never about what my numbers are. It's all about the winning and losing. But clearly, he's not done what he's needed to do today to keep the separation they needed to put this game away.
Coach, it's not about the numbers for him, but he doesn't want to hurt the team either. And today, his inaccuracy is hurting this team.
Second down and 5. And the pitch going to Farkas off the right side, but the Panthers are there. Hard to run wide on this team, and Maaki Kimoatu making the play, and a 1-yard pickup, and that will bring up third down.
And on third down, this is where you've got to have, who's that guy I go to? In this instance, Andrew Walter. Do I have the tight end? Is it a receiver outside? Is it a Reggie Bush coming out of the backfield? And as I said earlier, Javon Walker needs to be that guy, particularly on this down distance. Zach Miller's been pretty good. He needs to go to guy.
And his defensive line that we just saw wants to know who they're going to go to.
Third down and 4, and Walter with the short drop, and the pass picked off, incomplete, they say. And Miller, and it was an interception. It was an interception. And the Panthers will get it back. That was Chris Gamble on the pick.
We're out here racing luxury trucks. I mean, I can't think of a better word, but fantastic.
Interception by Gamble is second of the year, giving the Panthers the ball on their 39. There have been 7 turnovers. 6 of them have been interceptions. And Delhomme has thrown 4 of them. But the Panthers have it, leading 14-6, and the pitch is to Jonathan Stewart, and the rookie running back picks up good yardage, getting close to midfield to the 47, gets 8.
Now, a cardinal rule for receivers a slant is you can't let the DB cross your face. Here you see a slant right, let it go, of Javon Walker. Now, not taking anything away from Chris Gamble, hold it right there. He fights across the face of Javon Walker. He cannot give the DB that angle. He has to do everything he can to fight through that defensive back's presence, and if not the catch, at least be able to knock the ball down.
Well, you know, it's like low post, coach. You can't let him get that post position on you. You got to put your body inside him.
Second down and 2, and on the fake end around to Smith, and under huge pressure, just trying to get rid of it that time, and it was Tommy Kelly who stormed in on Delhomme.
These are 2 monster-sized defensive tackles. Turdell Sands, here's Turdell Sands at 370. Here's Thomas Kelly right here at about 305 pounds. And they just barrel through the protection there. Look at those 2 guys coming. That's about 650 pounds barreling down on Jake Delhomme. And they have played big, and that's no pun intended. They have played big inside today.
Panthers have been good on third down and short this year. Third down and 3. And Delhomme fires, and it is dropped. And let's see whether one of the Raiders knocked it away from Muhsin Muhammad.
I would say by the body language of Muhsin Muhammad that he dropped this pass.
And this is not typical. This is one where Jake Delhomme is right on target. He hasn't been on target all day. This one on a key third down. Muhsin Muhammad, as good a professional as there is in this league, you're not going to see him drop a ball like that too often.
Jason Baker will kick, and Higgins Back to return from the 16-yard line. Flag is down. So let's see whether the Raiders are guilty for holding or illegal block in the back. Came from that direction. Here's Mike Carey.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 23, half the distance to the goal, first down, timeout.
And we'll be back. And the kids in the front row, Raider fans, young Raider fans. First down on the 9-yard line for the Raiders, and Justin Fargas brings it out to the 12. Take a look at the two quarterbacks. We're not going to break the bank yardage-wise, are we here?
Neither one of these quarterbacks want to look at this comparison. They don't want anybody else to look at it either. Not a great body of work today. With 6 interceptions between the two, well below 50% completion.
And who would have thought it was going to be the veteran DeLome that had the 4 interceptions?
Right now, he's just praying that his defense can bail him out again, as the offense has done nothing in the second half.
Second down and 7. Andrew Walter. Middle screen to Justin Fargas. First down as he crosses the 21.
If you could just protect a little bit, you can allow the defense just to expand, to get into their drops, and then check it down to Justin Fargas.
This is gonna fall in the lap of Greg Knapp now. He's going to have to dig deep with all of his experiences as a coordinator. You've got to get the right sequencing of play here. Give your quarterback a chance. The mix between the run and the pass. Move the pocket. Find your best receivers down the field. Javon Walker. Greg's going to be searching that play sheet for just the right combinations.
9-yard gain and a first down for the Raiders. Play action, but here comes the pressure. And Walter being chased by Davis and passes to the fullback, Luke Lawton, and a great pinball machine gets the first down. And injured is Andrew Walter back inside the 10-yard line.
He came in today with a bad calf, a bad right calf. He was hoping that the adrenaline could get him through here today, but this is the hardest he's had to run, and that throw across his body may have pulled something down.
Marcus Tuiasosopo is the backup. Jamarcus Russell, the emergency quarterback. And so Andrew Walter is being worked on the sideline. You mentioned the calf injury that he had coming into the game, and Marcus Tuiasosopo, number 8, is replaced him on the field.
Take a look at Andrew Walter. The right ankle at the end of this play kind of relaxes just a little bit, and it just rolls over real quick. Might have caught that and got off it before too much damage was done.
So Tuiasosopo, who returned to the Raiders after spending last year as the New York Jets' 3rd quarterback, spent 6 years here in Oakland, played in 2 games in 06, and here he is. So Andrew Walter giving way, and Walter today 12 of 27 for 134 yards. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And there is Jamarcus Russell, who is the emergency quarterback warming up. First down on the 33 for the Raiders. Here's Justin Fargas. Fargas off left tackle, picking up about 2 as we go to Los Angeles. Game break, Kurt Menefee.
And we will double dip Chiefs and Raiders, or Chiefs and San Diego, excuse me. That's Phillip Rivers to Antonio Gates. Gave them their first lead of the game at 20-13. And then Pittsburgh's Jeff Reed with a 24-yard field goal. They lead the Colts 2017 in that one. Now back to the Raiders and Dick, Baldy, Brian, and Laura.
You're a busy man, Kurt, and you do a great job filling everyone in, not just this game, this audience, but everyone in on what's going on. Play fake, Tuiasosopo's pass, and it is caught by Zach Miller, hit immediately by Chris Harris. And it's brought out to the 39-yard line, a gain of 4, so it'll be 3rd down and about 5 for the first down.
And you'd expect if they can convert on a 3rd down here. Tuiasosopo is a good athlete. And we've seen them move the quarterback around today to avoid that pressure. This is right in his wheelhouse. He'll be very good at this.
And if he converts this third down, Andrew Walter is getting that ankle taped up to come back in the game.
In his 8th year from the University of Washington, Marcus Tuiasosopo out of the shotgun. On third down, and Tuiasosopo won't get away from the grasp of Charles Johnson. Down he goes, and that will create 4th down.
And they are getting good rush opposite of Julius Peppers. Here's Johnson up here, second-year player that keeps getting better and better. Runs an ET stunt, the end inside, Tyler Brayton outside, and they just stayed with him. No place for Marcus to step up in.
And an ET stunt?
Well, the end inside, tackle outside. It's real. We try to keep it simple. E for the end, T for the tackle.
Leckler will be kicking, and Mark Jones goes back deep. This is the 18th punt of the game. We've had 7 turnovers. 20 points. Mark Jones coming up to receive it, and brought down by Johnny Lee Higgins at the 27. Still a 14-6 game. Panthers cling to the lead. 14-6. In favor of the Panthers. They have it on the 27. 8:17 to go in the 4th quarter. Here is D'Angelo Williams cutting upfield and is tackled at the 32 by Kirk Morrison after getting 4.
Jake Delhomme, again, just a tough day. And it's not just all the quarterback. You're seeing drop balls, you're seeing tip balls, balls behind the receiver, bounces it up, gets to the interception, as it typically does. 4 interception day, it's not just going to be all the quarterback, but whatever the excuse, it's not been a good day for Carolina's offense.
Not a good day, but some excellent defense by the Raiders at every level.
2nd down and 7 from the 31, and the pitch to Williams. And Williams will be shy of the 1st down by a little more than 2 yards, thanks to Sam Williams picking up 4 yards on the play.
This is never easy for any defensive back. When you get a guy like Jeff Otal coming out here and leading the sweep, they're coming right at you. Now you got to, this is what they call toss crack. Here comes Otal. Now Chris Johnson does a decent job of turning that play inside, not allowing it to bounce outside. He's out there to cover these receivers, but you got to play the run as well.
So it's 3rd down and 2 on the 35.
Great place for a play action fake, man.
And it's Hoover, the first back, and did not make it. He is stopped short of the 1st down. Asamoah coming up from the secondary. And there you see the Raiders holding on 3rd down, or I don't mean penalty holding, but holding the Panthers offense.
Rob Ryan doesn't need a measurement.
No, he knows.
He knows.
It's short. And the Panthers don't need one either. They've got their punt team on the field.
There is Andrew Walter, who, as you guys showed, had his leg, ankle, calf taped up, walking around on the sideline, as Jason Baker prepares to kick once again to Johnny Lee Higgins. Good kick by Baker, and Higgins backs up to the 18. And drives out close to the 30-yard line. Just under 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and it's a 14-6 game as Tuiasosopo comes out once again. Promo?
It's about putting Andrew Walters back in, even if the ankle is kind of okay with the Julius Peppers, the pressure they can put on you. That mobility could come back and hurt you. So they're probably making the right move here and sticking with Tuiasosopo.
And they are going through the roster, aren't they? Jamarcus Russell out, Darren McFadden out. Get rid of D'Angelo Hall. Changes in the defense. Down to your 3rd quarterback.
And it's a 1st down on the 30, and a rollout, design rollout, and Tuiasosopo will get the 1st down as he slides to the 42.
Well, we said I'm sorry, Dick. We said this is right in the wheelhouse for Tuiasosopo. He is going to be at his best, breaking contain and making his throws less from the pocket as much as outside the pocket and breaking contain.
taking advantage of his athleticism and getting outside, and something the Panthers had not prepared for when you're looking at Jamarcus Russell, who doesn't do that much, and then certainly that's not what Andrew Walter does.
First down from the 41. Tuiasosopo with the straight drop. And the pass is batted up and nearly picked off by Kimoyatu. Second down.
Mahaki almost got himself a gift. Here he is in the middle. Not much of a penetration in the pass rush. He's double teamed on the play, but he gets the big paw up.
I think that tight helmet.
You said he's a great athlete.
He's a great basketball player. He wanted that. He's always got a smile on his face. That helmet's so tight, I think his vision's blurred.
Is that what it is?
I think that.
I want to know when he plays basketball. Is that basketball like a grapefruit to him?
God.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
He can charge. There's no such thing as taking a charge. I promise.
He just bounced off him.
Second down and 10. And the handoff to Fargas. And Fargas to the 44-yard line. So it'll be third down after the 3-yard pickup. John Beeson making the play here. So game in which Jamarcus Russell didn't start. And Andrew Walter getting the call. And now Walter shaken up, and Tuiasosopo, who came in as the backup quarterback. And thus far, he has completed 1 of 2 for 4 yards.
And Carolina also has to be careful now on a third down rush. He's the kind of guy that can step up in the pocket and right down the middle of the field if you're not spying or keeping an eye on the quarterback.
And there goes pressure, and down he goes. And down to the 35, and it's Charles Johnson and Julius Peppers both making a Tuiasosopo sandwich.
Julius Peppers was on a race to Marcus Tuiasosopo on that play, and he met him as soon as he stopped. I mean, this is the short corner here. There's no help. Quaim Harris can't do anything to it. You could just see that. I mean, from both sides now. That's Tyler Brayton coming in from one side, Peppers from the other side.
You've got to give Peppers his due respect, don't you? Don't you have to have Chip help every single snap?
So Shane Leckler will set a career high. This will be his 11th punt of the game. And his leg is still pretty strong. Jones inside the 10 gets by one defender and breaks out of it. Mark Jones has only Leckler to beat and will go out of bounds. So the initial Raider could have trapped Jones at about the 10-yard line. Instead, he goes 55 yards.
Well, Mark Jones does a good job here of avoiding Hiram Eugene on that play. Now he looking for the wall. He gets the crease, but he's going to hear about it on this trip home. Shane Leckler gets him out of bounds here. That should not happen to a good returner. I mean, you got to make a play here, make him miss, and keep on going down the field.
How about this for a coincidence? A 55-yard punt, a 55-yard return.
That is a coincidence.
And a first down for the Panthers in Raider territory at the 35. D'Angelo Williams, and nothing there, thanks to Kirk Morrison. Well, animation domination is all new tonight on Fox, starting with The Simpsons at 8/7 Central. Then it's all new laughs from King of the Hill, Family Guy, and American Dad. Viewer discretion is advised.
Now, John Fox, this isn't particularly aggressive. This is all about field goal. Everything's about getting in field goal position. You'll take the touchdown if it happens to present itself, trust me. But this is all about taking it back to a 2-score game and giving yourself a chance to create that separation, now approaching the 2-minute mark.
Second and 10, Jake Delhomme 0 for 9 passing here in the second half. Keeps it on the ground to Williams. Changes direction, goes outside. And Williams with a great bit of running gets the first down. Terrific bit of running by D'Angelo Williams, and does not get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run, and a gain of 13.
Well, he has done this a couple times a day, changing directions. Tough guy to handle and block in the open field. A lot of broken tackles at the end of the play. You know he's tired at the end of the play. And then to be able to get down and stay in bounds was big.
And right now for a game break, with Oakland calling a timeout, here is Kurt.
Well, after Ben Roethlisberger threw his second interception of the game, the Colts take advantage. This is Peyton Manning to the former Raider, Dominic Rhodes. He takes it in for 17 yards out. And the Colts have their first lead of the afternoon, 24-20, just under 3 minutes left in regulation. They send it back to the Raiders and Panthers and Dick.
Now, this is an interesting situation for Tom Cable. He has to use up his timeouts here. He's got 2 left. He's got the 2-minute warning on his side, just from the standpoint of realizing that he's got to give himself some time. Otherwise, if they take this down inside the 2-minute and now get the field goal, it's almost insurmountable. So he should use these timeouts between now and the 2-minute.
But they're already in a position to kick a 40-yard field goal right now, so it would make it a moot point because it would be then a 2-score game with no timeouts remaining.
But you're talking about a score, an onside kick. You're trying to give yourself just any semblance of a chance.
And Carolina will not throw the ball. It'll be all handoffs.
Williams. Flag is down. And the tackle by Kalimba Edwards.
Now this is huge. If this turns out to be a hold, this is absolutely huge.
Holding, offense number 69. 10-yard penalty is still first.
Jordan Gross, the left tackle, and it would be huge and could be that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to back him up 10. Now, we haven't mentioned Jordan Gross's name today, which is probably a good sign for Jordan Gross until there. And I don't know, I mean, you're looking at that play, Kalimba Edwards just playing off it. I don't know where the hold was.
But this is where you hold on to that last possible chance. You got the timeouts, you got the 2-minute warning. They're on the edge. Like you said, Baldy, I'd be very surprised if we see a pass at any point here.
Right now would be a 49-yard field goal for KC. First down and 20 with 2:20 to go in the 4th. Jonathan Stewart now in the backfield for the Panthers. It's Stewart. And nothing there. And Thomas Howard with the tackle. And we get close to the 2-minute warning, and the Raiders will use their second timeout.
And the Raiders are just trying to smother the run here. I mean, they got everybody up inside the box, all within a 5-yard range, knowing that with the day that Jake Delhomme is having, they're probably not going to put the ball in the air.
There's Casey, just in case. He has missed a 54-yarder in his only try of the game. Jake Delhomme with 7 for 27, 72 yards and 4 interceptions, a game he'll want to forget. D'Angelo Williams with a 69-yard touchdown run going well over 100. And there's Walter, who started for Oakland. Fargas, the leading rusher for the Raiders, and Janikowski breaks George Blanda's record for most points in Oakland Raider history by virtue of his second field goal of the game. Second down, 21 from the 33. D'Angelo Williams gets by Jabril Wilson, but once again Howard makes the tackle, does not get out of bounds, and we're going to wind down to the 2-minute warning right here, and the Raiders still have 1 timeout left. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Carolina leading 14-6. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 11 for the Panthers. They're on the 24-yard line. And here is D'Angelo Williams again, and he's tackled at the 19. A season's high rushing for D'Angelo Williams, and a career high as well as the Raiders called their 3rd and final timeout. Let's take a look at the rest of the schedule. Now, keep in mind the Panthers, who have Detroit next week, 4 of their last 6 games are on the road.
And that one against the Falcons now at the Falcons with a big win by the Falcons today over New Orleans. That's looming large. There was one-sided last time they play. Falcons are a different football team right now.
And the Bucs had the weekend off. They're both 6-3 right now. Panthers trying to get to 7-2 and stay in the game up in front.
Raiders have to go to Miami, and right now the Dolphins at 5-4, one of the great stories of this year.
And if you look in the AFC East, if you look at the Dolphins' remaining schedule, they've got the easiest schedule the rest of the way.
So here's Casey on for the field goal, and that 9-yard gain by Williams before the 2-minute warning really got them back into field goal range. This is a 37-yard attempt for Casey. who missed a long one earlier, and a scramble in the middle of the line.
Everybody's pointing at everybody else.
Encroachment. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty is still 4th down.
Turdell Sands. So they'll move it up 5 yards. The streak by John Casey of 21 straight field goals broken when he missed with no time remaining in the second quarter. And all he cares about is icing this game for the Panthers and make it a 2-score game. 4th down and 2, and the field goal attempt now from 32. The holder is the punter, Jason Baker, and John Casey's kick is good. And the Panthers now lead it 17-6 with 1:49 remaining, and the Raiders out of timeouts. While we have a moment, we want to thank some people who played a major role. Our technical and production crew. Game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director, Charles McDonald. The broadcast associate, Mark Schaefer. The technical producer, Pete Chalveris. The technical director, Rick Tugman. And the tape supervisor, Michael Nathanson. The audio supervisor, Pat Lucatordo. We also want to thank people on stats and spotting. Chris Visser, our spotter. Rick Odioso on statistics. Easy for me to say, with Mike Eldridge and Gareth Hughes working in our production truck. Thanks.
And this is the nature of the NFL right now. This is a big win. Win's a win in the NFL. It is hard to get a win in the NFL. But we just saw Jake Delhomme. The Carolina Panthers will feel good about this win. And Baldy, you know this. There's nothing better than getting on a plane. Flying cross country after a win. But they know they didn't play well today. And they know what's ahead of them.
Not many times can you play this poorly offensively and get a win in this league. Credit to John Fox's defense. They threw a clunker a month ago against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Weathered that storm. They got to get back on track.
Reese Lloyd kicking off. Johnny Lee Higgins returning from the 4-yard line, and down he goes at the 21. John Fox, who was a defensive coordinator here at Oakland, and an NFL fact indicating that teams starting 7-2 have made the playoffs 90% of the time, and the Panthers are aiming for their third 7-2 start in team history. 2003, they advanced to the Super Bowl. 2 years later, they reached the NFC Championship game.
And all John Fox is thinking about is that 10% that didn't.
That's right.
Andrew Walter back in at quarterback. Came out with the calf injury. First down at the 23. And Walter now running on that bad leg and running out of bounds. And stopping the clock. He is in pain. 36.
Well, it's a combined ankle injury and a bad calf. And that's the hardest thing to do with both those injuries, is try to stop.
Coach, wouldn't you say that when you play badly and win on the road, it's a job well done? Really?
Absolutely. I've always said winning on the road in the NFL to me is the hardest thing in all professional team sports. And you can't lose sight of the fact that it's a win. But I know what those coaches are going to be thinking about on that plane ride home is how do we get better next week.
First down from the 36. And penalty flags are down, and the play is blown dead, and it's a late false start penalty.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty is still first.
Panthers up 17-6, and if you give them the win, they go to 7-2. One game ahead of the Tampa Bay Bucks, who had their bye week today. Huge win by Atlanta. So they're tied for second, one game behind the Panthers, as the Saints drop to 4-5. 3 games out of what has really been a tremendous division.
Well, Matt Ryan has raised everybody's eyebrows this year. Bradshaw gave him the Rookie of the Year in his awards at the halfway point today in the pregame show. And I think everybody that's seen him has been...
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 90 yard.
Well, the microphone is breaking up. which is always very hard to do, and the penalty against Charles Johnson. Automatic first down.
Johnson,
go ahead, Baldy.
Johnson working against Zach Miller there. Just that hand reaching over and hitting him in the helmet. Mike Carey almost has to throw it.
Yeah, we're all week you've read about the hits on the quarterback and people complaining about are we making too soft a league and how hard it is to administer and what are we doing. But you know what? Those are the rules right now. And I will say going in that everybody's complaining about it, and players complain about it, coaches complain about it through the competition committee, through the league. These are what we decided we wanted to do. And
please put the game clock at 126. 126 on the game clock, please.
And that includes the union. The players union signed off. In fact, it was the players union that a couple years ago was really the group that instigated, look, we've got to make sure we're protecting our players. So everybody has a hand in this.
First and 10 at the 46. And Andrew Walter throwing behind Michael Bush. And right now, a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
And here's how it ends in Pittsburgh. Steelers down by 4. No time left on the clock. Roethlisberger with a Hail Mary for Nate Washington. Tipped and intercepted. And that's your ball game, folks. The Colts go into Pittsburgh and knock off the Steelers 24-20. Roethlisberger, 3 interceptions on the day. Back to Dick, Baldy, Brian, and Laura.
Looked like a grueling battle, Kurt, for these two AFC teams.
Pittsburgh, you know, now feeling the Baltimore Ravens at 6-3, tied for first in that division.
Second down and 10, and the screen pass to Michael Bush. Of course, the schedule for the Ravens is brutal the rest of the way. A lot of tough games,
One
a lot
game
of
at
road
a time,
games.
Dick. One game at a time. Let Joe Flacco, the rookie, kind of earn his stripes each week.
How about that Panthers?
And you know what? Jake Delhomme, you know, this long trip home, Jake Delhomme, he's not sure what he wants to do. If he goes to sleep, he's just going to think about the bad plays. If he stays up, he's going to think about the plays.
Pass is caught by Michael Bush. So however it works, they're short by a first down. 4 interceptions thrown by Jake Delhomme today as we have 40 seconds remaining. And it is a 4th down and 1. And the handoff inside to Bush, and it's the first down. They can't stop the clock. D'Angelo Williams with a 69-yard touchdown run and 140 yards rushing, a career high for him. And the Panthers will draw even at 2-2 on the road as they stop the clock with 17 ticks remaining. Julius Peppers with a big day today. Coming off the bye week, he was primed.
Now they have an award in Carolina when they win, the Black Glove Award for the best hit. I think Julius Peppers could have won that award a couple of times today. He'll get that name, his name, engraved on that black glove, proudly hanging outside his locker this week. It was a dominant performance.
Second down and 10 with 17 seconds remaining in the game. Andrew Walter throwing behind Bush. And now we're down to 13 seconds remaining. The Raiders will drop to 2-7 on the year and fall 3 games behind the Broncos, the leaders in the AFC West. So Sebastian Janikowski will come in.
And this is, you got to do this, you know, because it was going to take a touchdown and a field goal, whatever order you get it in. Kick the field goal, do an onside kick, take a shot.
Kicked a 57-yard field goal in overtime to beat the Jets in Week 7. This will be a 58-yard attempt for Sebastian Janikowski. And it hits the crossbar and bounces off. The kick is no good with 9 seconds remaining.
Well, and as we said earlier, this was the call. It was a 3rd and long. You knew you had a 2-score game, so it was either a touchdown, onside kick, and field goal, or the field goal, onside kick,
one
and a
score
touchdown.
before the other.
Obviously, where you are that long, a 3rd down, go ahead and go with the field goal with the leg that Janikowski had.
Are we coming back?
Touchdown.
And it's been that kind of a year for the Oakland Raiders to this point.
So now with 9 seconds to go, the Panthers will take a knee, and that'll do it. That's going to be the end of the game as the Panthers defeat the Oakland Raiders 17-6. And we'll be back here at the Oakland Coliseum in just a moment.